Last year we returned our friend's AZLK 2140 to the road. His acquaintance, seeing the result, also wanted to revive his AZLK 2140D. We agreed. This car is 3 years younger. And as it turns out, the Soviet automobile industry had introduced changes in 3 years. The car has been repainted in garage conditions. There are some imperfections in some places. But overall it looks in very good condition. 10 years ago it even passed the technical inspection requirements. The initial list of problems: the clutch does not work, the gearbox does not engage properly, the carburetor does not work properly, the brake rubber lines are cracked.
So this AZLK is made in 1986. Is some kind of export version. At this moment we clean up the valve cover. New this one distributor spark plugs. That's the start of the all. Dismounting the gearbox. I don't know what the owner would do this gearbox do. It's like on the previous Moskvich. These shafts is worn out, and we hear here the bearings too is dead. So it's by now by the owner. He wants to only change bearings or these shafts. He's not decided yet. Also, the exhaust pipe is pretty worn out, and yeah, the carburetors. This one actually is not for this car because this car got I lost it. Yeah, originally this car got some kind of that electric part. Yeah, wonder. Stone Age car got electric on the carburetor.
Bedre, to lampu noņēmu nost no kniepa.
The other systems seem to be working properly. The owner provided rubber brake lines, a used spare carburetor, and a few other suspension
So in
parts.
the gearbox, mainly we change this bearing. Also the other one probably is too dead. So anyway, we need to dismount this gearbox, and then we see about the shafts. Yeah, also this one, there is a seal which needs to be replaced, because when we take off this gearbox, there is all with the oil, so it's leaking very bad.
The clutch cylinder turned out to be completely dead. It was replaced with a new one. The gearbox was dismantled for troubleshooting. We found a broken synchronizer in the gearbox. As with the previous inspection, we noticed wear on the bearings and needle bearings. The axle turned out to be in good condition and will not need to be replaced. We made a list from the parts catalog and handed it over to the owner to search for parts. It must be admitted that obtaining parts is not easy. Spare parts are available, but most of the dealers are elderly people. They operate in their own stores and do not sell online and do not offer parcel deliveries. The purchase is made by visiting the store in person.
Kodus noraksti.
Being employed full-time at your main job, it becomes difficult.
Kodus norakstīju,
By the way, there are inaccuracies or shortcomings in the parts
bet
catalog.
grāmatā, bet
It is best if it is possible to compare with the original part. For example, for the first needle bearing of the gearbox, the catalog indicates 13 bearing needles, but in reality there are 15 bearing needles.
Pa divām monētām tur zemāk, nu, viņā. Un sinhronizatori iznāk visi 4 vienādi. Nu, bet ka mainīt, tā mainīt. Nu, jā, visus 4 vajag.
The gearbox is in the process. So about the problems, these bearings, they are all ready to change to, and we need one of these synchronizers, and with them actually the problems, they are not easy to find, and somebody tells that in the spare kits there's two similar bearing, or no, 3 bearings is this synchronizers is identically, but the 4th is kind of different. So I actually don't see if there is 2 differences or not. Looks like they all are identical. But okay, that's it for later. Well, also we need these bearing shafts. This big and this small too. Also, this is the gearbox, is fully disassembled. We leave this shaft. Yeah, it's a little worn, but it's okay. We put these bearing needles in and hope it's gonna work. The owner of this AZLK, as we see that it's not a completely original, he just wants this car to available to drive, so no other consequences about the history, value or something, just for the usual drive. So that's what we try to do. Also we find some like that gasket paper, and we try to make a gasket for the carburetor. About the carburetor, well, something is definitely not good with this. It do big RPMs, but then it do the shots in the exhaust, and we know, and we actually see that the exhaust is pretty bad, and it didn't pass the technical inspection, so there is such a problems. But again, this one carburetor is made of 2, and no one knows how many attempts is before us to do something that is completely Frankenstein of all that other carburetors.
While the carburetor problems were being addressed, new parts arrived. New headlights. The old reflectors were rusted. Also, the lights that were not intended for everyday use were replaced. During this time, fuel supply problems were discovered. The rubber fuel line had completely degraded and was not allowing fuel to pass through. New parking brake cables. And the next problem. The front brake hoses that the car owner gave turned out to be incompatible. Apparently it's from some other Soviet car, or at least from another AZLK model. Mismatch in thread pitch. Another delay in parts procurement and installation. Threads on both ends are completely different. Not compatible with existing system.
Un tām opšiem savādāka vītne, un šitajā galā ar savādāka vītne.
And the more you look, the more you find. Quality repair tips with roofing screws. I don't really want to see what else is under that cladding.
Kaut kas apakšā arī šitam ir skrūvēts ar jumta samareziem.
The seats have been removed to gain access to the parking brake cable. One of the problems turns out to be the locking button getting stuck. As a result, the parking brake does not fully release, or does not lock in position. The most difficult thing turns out to be removing the lever handle. The father shows how this locking button gets stuck and that there is currently no quick fix. Back to the brakes. This is what the DOT4 that was in the brake system looks like. It looks worn out and hasn't been changed since the car was manufactured. New brake hoses have been received and installed. The overall appearance of the car floor is good. In the background we discuss the poor functioning of the carburetor. Still no significant improvement.
I always like when the spare parts come. So this is to the Moskvich. We have 4 new synchronizers. They all are identical. I read somewhere that they're in spare kits. One of them usually always is a little bit smaller, but this one is all okay. The headlamps, this is the problem with the AZLK. They all, when they sitting, they all have bad headlamps. So also we got bushings for gearbox. Oh, they are codes for the parts. If somebody need it, so you can find. Also we got rings and pins for the gearbox shaft. This is for bearing for gearbox shaft. And also we got pins for the bearing of the another one gearbox axle shaft. Maybe there is a description here, but I don't open now it. Maybe later. So and there is the another lamp. So and this is the paycheck Oh yeah, this is the paycheck, and here we see how much it costs in euros. Okay, I hope this AZLK soon move from my garage. At least it can move out from the garage, because now my garage is busy with unmovable car and I can't do my own projects or my own car repairs. So, to the next. So, we change the oil in the axle and the gearbox is in the place. We still need to bleed the air from the clutch cylinder and change some of these hoses. This one looks pretty good, but in the front some of them is with cracks and pretty bad. With this one is new, also, and these two still in good shape. So on the both sides I change it. And the next work is headlights. This is new because the old ones got a lot of rust in this reflector and they actually don't work anymore. So lights and clutches and bulbs and brake hoses, yes, these two. This is what I'm talking about. That's actually a problem with these lamps. The previous Moskvich got rust here to the both lamps. This lamp is pretty rusted. This one is actually usable, but the owner buy two new lamps, so this we leave for spare. So in here is a little bit clean up. There's another spare hoses for brake. Yeah, from the outside this car looks pretty good. It looks in good condition, but as we see these moments that the doors actually is changed. It's another color, and here from the baggage there is some bad places. It's better seen from the upside, from the trunk. From here is some kind of anti-gravel on it, so it looks good by now, but at some points from the other side it's very bad rust visible. Yeah, also the new these rubber things to avoid serious shaking. So this was the carburetors from this car. They are pretty dirty. This one is washed. So this one we try to install to this car. about the car itself. So there we have a spare parts, filters. That is the owner's golden reserve. Well, about the history of this car, we see that he's repainted. It's very rough repainted. From the original, these doors, as we see, is white, so they are installed from another car. So this one and the driver's door, the only one door which is the original factory paint is that one. So three of doors is changed. That's the interior. About the seats and the interior, I can say that the previous Moskvich was in more poor condition, like this one. I like this very accurate seats, and the dashboard too. It's pretty good looking. The Moskvich failed technical inspection. There's two main reasons. One is the carburetor, the second one is the rear brakes. About the carburetors, the owner gave us two carburetors. Let's say both of them are not good, or actually maybe they are crap. So we try one, then another one, and at the end we assemble one from two different carburetors. Not different, they are similar, but one is used, the other is used. Both of them are goes through many hands, many mechanics, and yeah, well, actually don't know what to do with this next, because well, if these adjusting bolts we close fully, by my opinion it must shut down the engine, but the engine keeps running. So after these years and many mechanics and modifications, it's hard to tell what exactly is wrong with it. But it's this one, and it's too high CO and CH. But we try to figure out how to do something. Of course, the solution is buy a new one, but the price is 250 euros. Well, that's all I'll say. That's expensive. So there is this type of carburetor here. So, and the next thing is the rear brakes. We got now the new brake cylinders, because one of the left rear is it's worn out. It's bad. It didn't work properly. No, labās puses noņēmām.
Vienā man kājiņa nolūza. Liku uz turienes, ka, bļet, nokritu.
Jā, nefokusējies. Bet jā, kaut kā negribēju strādāt. Also, we got the new brake shoes. Yeah, in technical inspection, that one actually failed. We didn't expect that, but it failed completely. This is the drum brake. Yeah. Also, we check that this is a, I don't remember what it calls, when the car is with load, it gives more pressure to the brake cylinders. But yeah, and actually this story is the same as with the previous Moskvich. Same rear brakes, cylinders, but I think we must clean up, open this too, because maybe there is a rust here and something is wrong. Yeah, we didn't touch the rear brakes because the owner of this car says it's okay. He got past. Okay, it's 10 years maybe ago technical inspection and there is no problem, so we didn't touch it. But as we see, again with the older cars like this, if you wanna do something, you must do completely full line with brakes, with everything, because yeah, this failed. And yeah, somebody before us puts these brake shoes other side, and that's why they seriously worn out. And when you, like in technical inspection, they fully pull up the handbrake, it stands on the handbrake, and then the brake shoes did not release the handbrake. And also this one wheel completely stuck. When we return to garage, this drum is really heated up. But the drums actually is in good shape. They are without serious worn out, so we can use this with no fear. Yeah, the new brake cylinders, new brake shoes, and I suggest we check and clean up, open this part, and then we will see. Yeah, actually brakes have solution, we can do this, no worries. About carburetor, yes, there is some things that we can actually didn't. I actually don't have now any solution at the moment. Maybe we visit some mechanics who actually specializes at carburetors and old cars like this. Yeah, and continue with the brakes. The master brake cylinder, we didn't touch it too. It it works properly. But the moment is with the pedal. It must be, well, it's too short movement of this pedal. We read the book, and there it says it must be 15 centimeters. But in fact it's only 8. So yes, and this is the book what we use, and yeah, we must check that too. If we cannot adjust that 50 centimeters, maybe it's something somehow affects this brake system. Well, let's see it later. Yeah, this is that book where it's the measurements and how it must goes there and too. And we have only 8 And here, this is that magical book, Moskvich guide.
And that was unexpected. The new brake cylinder started leaking. There's really no time to look for another one. So there's no point in going for a repeat inspection. The result is known anyway. It will be fail.
Otra puse sausa. Kā ok, šitais apmīzās. Tāda tā bēda. Tā kā, nezinu, ar šitādu tur laikam skatē nav ko darīt.
The piston from the new cylinder looks undamaged. The reason for the brake fluid leak is unclear.
Nekādā jēgā. Tad šitā, ko izņēmām no tā jaunā cilindra, fokusējies. Viss tās it kā normāla, kāpēc viņa tek.
We inserted one of the old cylinder's pistons with a cuff into the new brake cylinder. The goal was to stop the leak. Because it was clear now. The car would go to storage. After a little test, it turned out that the leak started from the other side of the cylinder. The conclusion was that both cuffs of the new cylinder could not withstand the pressure.
Tomorrow, this car leaves my garage with some hard feelings. I wanna add because the goal was get it to the technical inspection, but some problems caused this. We fail the technical inspections. I previously told that it's two things: the carburetor, exhaust, and the brakes. Well, with the carburetor, we at the start tell the owner that these two carburetors which he gave us, they are complete rubbish. They are old, many years, many mechanics make some adjustments, rebuilds, and etc. There is no place where somebody didn't do something, and that's the reason why it didn't work. At the start, it don't work at all. There is no idling and many misfires and shots in the exhaust. And yeah, my father assembled from two crappy carburetors. The one who looks now it's working actually very fine. It runs, it accelerates, it's okay. But it has a big fuel consumption and it didn't pass the technical inspection, so yeah, we can nothing to do here. We tell the owner at the start that best option is change this for the new, but he don't want spend so many money on this car, so yeah, it actually costs a pretty good price. So that's the one reason. And the second reason is brakes, and I can tell that I learned nothing from the previous Moskvich. On the previous Moskvich, we must rebuild totally all the brake line from the start to the end, and this is the same story. Actually, we believe that this car looks pretty good. Yes, we believe in that pretty good shape and hope, okay, this one is in a better shape. Yeah, we don't need so lot of do here. But yeah, fail at technical inspection. We started from the rear cylinders. The owner gave us two new cylinders, but one of them is a little bit different, and one looks like exactly like this original from the car. And yeah, the parts quality, because that one which fits, but it didn't look like original. It works, but the new part, new original cylinder leaks the both sides. One side at the start we clean up, change with some this part, and then the new cylinder started leaking from the other side, whereas the other new piston is. So it's completely rubbish. New part here. So now we don't have one cylinder, and some kind of a problems with the main cylinder, we think, because at some points the brake pedal just goes to the floor without brakes. So we think that not only the rear brake cylinders is in the fault, maybe something is wrong there. And also, like in the previous Moskvich, I'm almost sure that something is wrong there. Something is rusted, maybe there. Some gaskets, sealings, or something is worn out, or the rubber is maybe brushed. So yeah, and that's not the only problem. About yeah, this is the rubber parts, which is we can see it's likely bigger than it must be, and it stuck in that cylinder and didn't move. So at the end we must do here all the brake line through the end brake cylinders, and then we get some result. And we believe that the front disc brake too needs rebuild, actually repair kit, these gaskets, because the brake fluid which is from this car looks actually like this. Oh, it's vodka. Yeah, it's full of rust, mud, and who knows else what. Yeah. The brake fluid actually must a little bit yellow. And this is like mud, like beer. So I believe that all this rubbish is ruined entire system. It warms out all the ceilings and the rear, and it maybe broke these ceilings, and yeah. So this is the homework for the owner to the next year. Why we gave it back to him? He got have a good job offer, and he came back again here only in late spring. So he wants to store this car to his garage, to him, and yeah, we gave him back, and with the homework that we need this brake, master brake cylinder, with rebuilding this two rear brake cylinders, and kit for the front brake cylinders, because who knows, if we leave these cylinders as it is, maybe they fucked up next time when we do all the line. So yeah, it's the same story in these old cars. If you start, you must from the front to the end to the last mechanism, because if you leave something, it actually once out at the time. Okay, now about the good things, what is done. Yeah, we changed the headlamps and they are adjusted and they are okay now. We do the mount for the battery because before it bounced right in here. Yeah, the valve cover valves is adjusted. The ignition system inspected and changed this part and some of these high wires. Oils changed. Fluids all the changed. Gearbox is rebuilt. So there is no bearings and seals and new oil, and also is the oil in the rear axle changed. So, well, I won't say that a lot of work is done. Oh yeah, we changed that brake lines too because they are cracked. By the way, this one he gave us at the start, but they are from the different car. Something they not didn't match this car. The threads are other, not like on this car. So here we got a junk. This is all complete. This one is completely dead. It's not usable. It's a clutch cylinder. Oh yeah, we changed the clutch and the clutch cylinder too. This is a good thing too. So mostly the car is in a good shape. It runs. We only need new carburetor and inspect one at last time the brake system. Yeah, the carburetor it's not adjustable anymore. You can unscrew these adjusting screws in any direction, nothing changes. So we actually don't know what is there made and adjusted before us, so it's better to change it to the new, and then all the problems I think it's solved and it runs good. So that's it. So this car is ready to return back to the owner, and I think we see him in the next year, next spring. Maybe we finish this job. I like this red saloon. It's better like in the previous Moskvich. It looks really good. But I actually don't like these cars.
By the way, the previous owner of the Moskvich enjoys driving his car and meeting with friends.